The importance of refining sensuality and the intimate for men is currently very crucial. We know that a lot of women who have been called to this kind of work have been already doing this for years or even decades. But it's equally important for men, and men's higher and deeper and more sacred sensuality is very often overlooked. But the principles are the same. The principles of elevating and refining the sensual energy are the same for men and women, and even for intersex people or people who don't relate necessarily to one gender. The process of starting to refine your sensual energy is actually more or less a simple one. It requires a vessel, the container of your awareness. It requires a certain form of discipline, of course, and then again, joining the awareness with your breath. And one of the most potent things and simple things you can do is actually become aware of your sensual, intimate energy. Become aware of the patterns of that energy. Whether you are in a relationship, whether you're with somebody or not, anytime that you feel your sensual energy wanting to express itself or arise, you can shift your awareness to it. Shift your awareness to the area of that energy and breathe. Do abdominal breathing. Become aware of that energy. Trying to detach as much as possible in a healthy way from the sensual energy and a little bit observe it. That is a simple principle to start to become, start becoming aware of what is actually taking place. So this is the basic essential principle of starting to becoming more aware, to refine your energy. And the second, of course, and as you become more comfortable with this, you will start moving your awareness and your sensuality upwards, or maybe even inwards. But the principle in internal alchemy is to start to drive it upwards with the breath. It doesn't, for starters, you don't need to rest your awareness on your spine necessarily. You can do it through visualizing your central channel. Visualizing something that starts from the top of the center of the brain, so to speak, down to you, to between your legs. That's one of the channels you can certainly envision before you proceed with spine or other channels that are there. But it is possible to also have and hold a more whole perspective of transforming and elevating your sensual energy, and that is where you actually more consciously circulate that energy, redirect that energy with your breath and your awareness to your heart center, your heart space, or even visualizing your creative space. For many people, and in the internal alchemy, it can be what we call the chakras. And what we call even the heart chakra or crown chakra. But for now, I want you to just visualize in your central channel that you are driving this energy, the sensual energy, upwards. Or if this doesn't resonate, you can actually feel that you're driving it inwards. So with your breath, you recirculate it to your heart center. It's important to feel that this energy is being recirculated and redirected at yourself, because that will strengthen your boundaries. And a masculine and men who are more centered in their higher sensuality, in their more whole sensuality, they are actually more liberated. This is process in the internal alchemy is not a process that is done in a religious way, that is done in necessarily in a Puritan way. In the Egyptian tradition, we can say that to some extent, initiates were expected to be disciplined in their central energy. Though not all initiates were abstaining from intimate, but the container of the sensuality was held to a very high consciousness, meaning that celibacy, but that's a voluntary process, was expected of them. Now, in modern days, this process must be done in a self-loving way. In other words, if you are in a relationship, you don't have to stop being intimate. And this is a process that you undertake to empower yourself, to elevate your own self, to refine your own consciousness, and to very pragmatically also detach yourself from all this false consciousness of sexualization, all the consciousness of where the romantic, or let's just say the sensual element, is so overly projected onto people and expected from people in context. And it really messes up and mixes up things, because ultimately both men and women and other intersex people or people who are in another spectrum, in different spectrum, may have been conditioned or may be feeling the pressure, unconsciously or semi-consciously, to observe things that are more intimate, more sensual in a non-sensual context. In other way, what I mean is that if you are elevating and undertaking the elevation of your sensuality consciously out of your own self-love, then your relationships will become clearer. You will be able to form friendships with women, for example, if you are a man, and with men, if you are women, without the sensual element, without, where there you can actually meet and engage others for what they are, without this extra element of sensuality lurking here and there, which is what the human culture of sexualization very often promotes that to people as something normal. But if you undertake the elevation of your sensuality, you understand that that is not normal.